Good evening, people, and welcome back to episode number 4 of the Prefix and to your preview for Chelsea versus Southampton. A very, very exciting game for both teams and a very, very close and tricky game for Chelsea fans because, let's just get into it. So, to be very honest with you, I'm just gonna put everything out on the table. This is how I feel about what's gonna happen tomorrow. Given our history with clubs that aren't doing well, given our history with the way we allow teams to find form, how we allow players who are doing badly, who are in a goal drought to get back to winning ways, get back to scoring ways, like we did with multiple teams like Arsenal, who were in this season only. Arsenal, who are in the worst form of their lives, we made them look like prime Barca. Christian Benteke last season, he hadn't scored for a whole year. Then he comes and plays Chelsea, and guess what? He scores. So that just few examples of what happens when we play teams who are running on bad form. So Southampton are a team that aren't in very great form, honestly. They lost their last game. They won the FA Cup game, but I think in the Premier League they've lost their last 3 or 4 games now. They lost to Arsenal 3-1. They lost to Aston Villa 1-0. They lost to Manchester United, that horror show, 9-0. And then they lost to Wolves in the Premier League 2-1. However, they did beat them in the FA Cup and proceed to the 6th round. So that would be interesting to watch, especially for Chelsea fans, because Chelsea is still in the FA Cup. But this is a very tricky fixture because Southampton at the start of the season looked like a top 6 team. The way they were playing, the quality of the players that they had, both in midfield, up front, and in defense. They had Vestergaard, who was that very, very physical character in defense, who was organizing the defense. They also had offensive fullbacks, very offensive-minded fullbacks, in Kyle Walker-Peters, Ryan Bertrand, and obviously they had their same old striker partnership in Theo Walcott and Danny Ings. Jay Adams was also in that mix alongside Nathan Redmond. Their midfield was very strong. They have James Ward-Prowse, and Romeu, who I butchered that name, but yeah, I think that's the midfield. Both James Ward-Prowse, obviously known for his incredible free kicks. He's got great technical skills on the ball, a great pass of the ball, and obviously a good long range shooter. So it's gonna be a tough game, a very tricky one, because we know how Chelsea are with teams who are doing not so well in the Premier League. We are very we seem to be very generous to these teams. So far I think I've been quite negative, but let's just move on to some of the more positive aspects about Chelsea versus Southampton, and one of those is the return of Kai Havertz and Tammy Abraham. Okay, so obviously Tammy picked up an injury last time we played Newcastle and we won that game 2-0, but Tammy came off very, very early with looked like either a thigh injury, a knee injury, or some muscle tear, but luckily it was something very, very minor, and now he's back in training and in contention for the squad to face Southampton. So that's obviously a good sign. Kai Havertz is back in the mix. He's been training at Cobham as well, so that's obviously good, because we've seen how Timo Werner has kind of gotten confident on the ball, off the ball, and has started to improve game. He scored against Newcastle after 14 long games, and boy am I happy to see him score. That smile across his face after scoring, and especially after VAR counted that goal and didn't give a possible Giroud handball, which was a very, very tense situation. If that had been given, that would have just been it for Timo, right? But luckily for him, luckily for us, we got that goal. He also got an assist that game, assisted Olivier Giroud. So moving on, this game I think is going to be it's going to be a big test for Chelsea, because we spent the time under Thomas Tuchel, fighting the first battle of the league, and that first battle is reaching top four. It's just reaching top four. That's the first battle. That's not it. As a club as big and as well known and as prestigious as Chelsea, we have higher expectations, and with that expectations come responsibilities, and we have a responsibility to continue this fight. And this fight doesn't stop with just reaching top four. It stops after we maintain top four, and maintaining top four is the toughest job in the league, and more than half of the teams in the league don't know what this feeling is, because they don't reach that level. Southampton at one point in the season were top of the league. They were in the mix in the top 6, but they dropped tremendously, and I think now they find themselves very, very much at mid-table. Right now Southampton are 13th. That's in the lower half of the table, and that just shows Southampton weren't up to the task, and at some point Chelsea weren't either. But somehow we've crawled our way back, and we fought our way back. So it shows that, and I think because of various issues, obviously Southampton had to deal with the injury of Danny Ings, their main goal scorer. They had injury to Vestergaard, who was out for quite a while, and just things like this happen. It happens with every club. Liverpool are going through it. Chelsea are going through it. Thiago Silva's still out, and he isn't in the squad to face Southampton. But every club is going through these things. COVID, too many games, injuries, and I feel that because Chelsea have such a big squad, we are 23 players plus goalkeepers. That's 26 totally, which is just a massive squad. It's a massive squad, and we have to use this to our advantage. Every player needs to be at the top of his game, and I think this is a must win for Chelsea. This is a must win. We have to get the 3 points here and maintain our place, because the teams are they're crawling behind us, but they're catching up very, very slowly but steadily. There's not a big point difference from Chelsea to 10th spot, which is 34 points. I mean, we have to be killing off games right now, and if we want to be in and among the top teams in the world, we have to be winning these kind of games. And the lineup that I have chosen is reflective of this game plan. Okay, the lineup that I have picked is a familiar lineup because it's a familiar formation, and this is a formation that has been working for us over the past couple of weeks, and I think a lot of the team members are now finding their form within this position, some of their best form maybe in this position under Thomas Tuchel. And so the formation that I have gone with is a 3-4-1-2 formation. Let's just start with the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper, Thomas Tuchel has come out and said this multiple times now. Kepa had his chance, and it was mostly to get back to form, feel confident in this team, and build that bond between the goalkeepers, which he said is extremely important, which I completely agree with. There needs to be cohesion within the team. It is never a good sign when the dressing room is split, or there are a few fringe players and who are not doing so well. And so given the fact that Kepa has done well in the games that he had a chance to play in, and he kept 2 clean sheets, he that's the best thing that a goalkeeper could do. But this is something that Thomas Tuchel said that I am very, very happy with. He said that is the best thing a goalkeeper could do, but that is what we expect from Kepa. That shows the mentality that this club has, and I'm happy that the manager is also kind of reflecting that same mentality with his mannerisms, his behavior, his words. So 1 second, let me just grab a drink. Thomas Tuchel has come out and said multiple times, jeez, what's happening? Thomas Tuchel has come out and said that Edu Mendy will be his number one goalkeeper, and I agree that he said that these things need to be set in place, and we must not be afraid of declaring these things. It's very, very important that there is an established hierarchy in each dressing room, and I think it's a very healthy thing for the club, because everyone knows their place, everyone knows what they need to work on and how they need to work on different aspects of the game, what they need to understand, what they need to learn, and who they need to learn it from. Given that fact, for goalkeeper, I have chosen Edu Mendy. He is back in the squad. I'm hoping for a very, very big performance from him, because Southampton have some incredible firepower up front, with the likes of Shea Adams, Nathan Redmond, Danny Ings obviously, and Theo Walcott. So, Edu Mendy, are you up for the job? I think so. I hope he has a good game and another clean sheet. 11 clean sheets in the Premier League incoming for Edu Mendy. So, in defense, it's going to be the same back three. It's going to be the same back three that I've been going with for weeks now, and that is Antonio Rudiger, Andreas Christensen, and Cesar Azpilicueta. It seems like the partnership between these three is growing slowly and steadily. I feel like Christensen so far has not set a foot wrong. Antonio Rudiger has been decent, except for that one own goal, which I just can't seem to forget. And obviously Azpilicueta has been absolutely immense, a big role for him in this club as the captain of this team, as a motivator and one of the most experienced players in this squad. Now moving on to the fullbacks, I really want to give Chilwell a chance, and I hope Thomas Tuchel gives him a chance this game, because I feel like Chilwell would have a very, very good chance to show his quality on the pitch in a game such as this, because it is a very, very tough game. It's a tricky game. It requires very, very intelligent play and very, very intelligent movements, and I think Ben Chilwell is one of those players who just has these moments where he snaps a volley, or he's in the back post in the far corner, in the far post, and then these little moments could decide games, and we need as many of these moments as we can against Southampton in a game such as this that could define our season. And so, even though Alonso has played very, very well, I think he's done exceptionally well since breaking into the squad under Thomas Tuchel. But I do think that Ben Chilwell was bought. 50 million was paid for him, and it wasn't to be sat on the bench. I think he deserves a start. He has not played too badly. I think under Thomas Tuchel we started to utilize the ball much better, and I think this could be a good chance for Chilwell to kind of show Thomas Tuchel that he's still in contention, he's still fighting. This is not a battle or that is over already. So I think this could be a very, very good game for him to prove what he can do. On the other side, I've gone with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now, Callum Hudson-Odoi is, I think, one of the most talented players in this squad, as talented as the Germans, as talented as anybody. I think that this game requires someone like it is in need of someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi with that spark, with that moment of genius, that burst of pace to outmaneuver this very strong structure of Southampton. In midfield, I have gone with Jovicic again. I'm a big N'Golo Kante fan. I really love the guy, and obviously no one in the world can hate him. No one in the world. But this partnership between Jorginho and Kovacic is just too good. It's too good. I don't know if any other duo partnership like this that has ever been so fluid and seamless and it's just beautiful to watch. It's so beautiful to watch. I think they understand each other. It's like it reminds me so much about Xavi and Iniesta. So much like that. It's such a beautiful partnership. They understand the movements are so seamless. It's so fluid. It's so, I don't know what it is. It's so beautiful. But they definitely keep their place. Kovacic has been exceptional. If he just worked on his finishing, man. If he just worked on his finishing, I tell you, he would be better. Write this down. He would be better than Bruno Fernandes. He'd be better than Bruno Fernandes if he could finish. If he could finish. But his dribbling, you just can't press the guy. You can't press him. He's just going to dribble past you. His passing, his stamina, he's the unsung hero of the squad, man. We keep praising Timo Werner and Giroud and Hudson-Odoi, and he's just this guy is the workhorse of this team. He's the workhorse of this team. He's running up and down, contributing defensively and offensively throughout the game, throughout the 90 minutes. Jorginho, obviously, we all knew what his qualities were and what his deficiencies were, and I think his qualities and technical abilities are coming out more and under the system under Thomas Tuchel, and I'm very, very happy for him that he's found his form again, that he has found his place in this squad. Moving up in the attacking midfield position is going to be Mason Mount. Mason Mount, obviously, you all already know that he's my favorite player in the squad. He has been for a while now because of his he bleeds Chelsea, and he knows what this game is all about and what this means for our future in this season. And I'm 100% sure he's going to put his heart on the line in this game as well. I don't think there's any reason why I should not pick Mason Mount. I feel like I shouldn't have to justify the fact that I'm picking him. But anyway, moving on to the front two. This is a bit different. This is probably gonna raise some eyebrows, but I'm gonna go with Timo Werner and Kai Havertz. Timo Werner, obviously, he cannot be dropped at the moment. He's on fire. After he got a knock last game in Newcastle game from Lascelles, or something, I don't know what it is. Lascelles, I think. He got a knock on his lip and he was bleeding. This guy came on all ready to set the world alight. He came on, received a ball from Jorginho, ran to the box, crossed it in, and Giroud finished it. 9 minutes later, Chelsea corner. Mason Mount takes the corner. It falls to the back post, and guess who's there to freaking scissor kick it into the goal? Turbo freaking Timo, man. We're all happy for him. Alongside him, I have gone with Kai Havertz. I do not think that Kai Havertz is ready to play 90 minutes yet, but I feel like this could be his position. This could maybe be like the number 10, Mason Mount and Havertz on either side of Werner, or Mason Mount through the middle and Havertz and Werner taking up the wing, maybe like the wider areas on the pitch. But I think that Kai Havertz too often was way too deep in midfield to affect the game with goals and assists. I think this position could really help him get back to his usual attacking mindset and decision making. I think often we'd see Kai Havertz make attacking decisions way too deep in the pitch. He would start dribbling and lose the ball and lose possession, and we'd get countered and lose and probably concede a goal or whatever the case. Way too often it became a Kai Havertz blunder and a bad decision on his part. I think when he's up front, he is more licensed to make these decisions, because obviously those are where the areas that he needs to make these decisions in. And secondly, we obviously have the entire team behind him to cover. I think this could be a very, very good chance for him to maybe grab a goal, assist, or whatever, find his form, find his feet, get back into the rhythm of things. And we have a lot of games coming up, so we need him to be at the top level. So this is pretty much my team against Southampton. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into the next section of the video, which is the play predictor video. If you guys do not have the Chelsea official app, I will leave a link down below where you can go download the app, get involved. All you Chelsea fans, I will see you there. Okay, so how many goals will each team score? This is a tough one because this could go either really well or really badly. But I do think that we might win this game 2-0. I want to say 2-0 actually, but I think it's going to be 2-1 because Southampton do have very good attacking players, and sometimes our defense could look a bit flaky. We have these moments where we look like we might concede a goal, and Southampton are the team to finish those chances, even half chances. So I'm going to go with 2-1. Who's going to score first for Chelsea? Now, as much as I want to say Timo Werner, because he's on a good run, I do not think he will be the first one to score. He might score, but I don't think he's going to be the first one to score. Like I said last game, he probably needs someone to score before him to get that momentum running. And I think that person is going to be Callum Hudson-Odoi. He did not score last game like I predicted, but I think this is the game for him. This is the game for him to score. In which minute will the first Chelsea goal be scored? Now, last time I predicted it to be very early, around 20th minute or something like that. So this time I'm gonna go with 32, just to make things a bit more interesting. I feel like we take a bit of time to get it into games, and so 32nd minute. How many shots will we have overall? I'm gonna go with 7. Actually, forget it. 8. How many Chelsea shots will be on target? I think out of 8 we'll have about 5 on target. That's a good ratio. What overall possession will Chelsea have? As usual, I think we'll dominate possession. As usual, we always dominate possession, so I'm going to go with 60%. Seems like a good range. I usually go for 61 just for good luck, but 60 this time. How many Chelsea corners will there be? I think we had loads of corners against Newcastle, so I'm going to go with a bigger number this time. Let's go with 6. Yep. So if you guys are liking the content that I'm putting out, I'm very much enjoying myself while making this content. Obviously, it is a Chelsea series where I give you my thoughts for each game that we play. Almost a preview, a prefix. So if you guys like what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications so that you never miss another upload, and let's get that dub. 2-1 is my prediction. Let me know what you guys predict down below. Very big games coming up ahead, so very interesting weeks. Gonna be putting some more content out, a lot of podcasts. We're gonna have some guests over. I'm very excited. So a win against Southampton incoming. See you guys on the other side.